everybody? Welcome to Sports Grind Season 2, Episode 13. My name is Tyler Wargo.
And I'm Mickey Perella.
And today, we only have one thing to talk about, and that's the NFL. But before we start with the NFL, Week 10, we would like to talk about breaking news. As we know, new general manager, and Mickey will be talking about that. So, Mickey.
All right, awesome. Thank you. The first women general manager is finally here. The first women general manager in the history of North American sports is here. Finally, we've broken the gender barrier. Kim Ng of the Miami Marlins has just been hired, and Tyler, I think it's just great for.
I think it's cool because like in the NFL, you have women referees too. So like
yes,
MLB is trying to work with not really just MLB but all sports. They're trying to work with gender breakers and barriers and everything. They're trying to pass that to make it fair. I have no problem with that. I think that's cool, honestly.
I think it's just great for the whole sport, and it's just.
It's also everyone.
Definitely.
You know?
And hopefully future sports like football and basketball and hockey can get on.
We will probably see that. As we see a lot of these sports teams now, they're going to be looking at the MLB now, seeing that they're making this move, and I think a lot of sports will be making that,
Definitely.
step.
All right. Congratulations, King Ang, and now we'll get it back to Tyler for the NFL news.
So we're going to start off with NFL Week 9 as the Texans win big against the Jaguars 27-25. All of a sudden, Deshaun Watson was on fire that night. As we saw, he was touchdowns, we saw some interceptions. Texans, they did pretty well, but will they keep that up is the question. So, Giants also win by 3 as they face Washington and won 23-20. And honestly, the Giants, that was a good win by them, and I know Washington's not that good. I think that was a good game because both teams are not doing the best. But Giants, they were pretty happy of getting that win. And honestly, you got to give it to the Giants.
The Giants have been very impressive this season. I mean, if we think about it, we didn't know who this coach was, Joe Judge, but he's been very impressive.
He's new.
He's brand new. No one's ever heard of him.
Yep.
But you know what? He's stepping up this year. This is the second win for the Giants. They've been in most of the games. I think they're going to be good for the future.
I think they're going to be good for the future as well. Ravens will also dominate against the Colts in Indianapolis. 24-10, we saw Lamar Jackson. He was the man to look at. I think he is. I think he will always be the man to look at for the rest of the season. He's been on top. I know the Ravens have been losing a couple games, but most of their games, they have been winning. So keep an eye out for Lamar Jackson. This man is continuing to look hot.
He is. That was the best game he had all season. I can't wait to watch the Ravens go into their playoff push.
Same here. Lions were not hot, but the Vikings actually turned themselves around and they won another game. This was their second game in a row that they won. They won 34-20. And what's your thoughts? The Vikings they were originally bad, but now they're actually coming back on top. What's your thoughts?
I think it's very interesting. I mean, Kirk Cousins struggled the first couple, games of the season, and they went to like an 0-4 deficit, but now Dalvin Cook has really taken the lead and really affecting this team.
In my opinion, I feel like the Vikings are I feel like they're going to be the man to they're going to be the team to look at. I think they're definitely going to start looking hot. They're going to be up there, actually. I think it's possible for the Vikings.
Definitely. You can even make an argument that they're better than the Bears right now, and they're going to be pushing the Packers.
The Bears have not been looking good.
They have not
been looking good. They were good, but then they lost it ever since they lost from the Saints. So, as we go to Chicago and the Bears, they took another loss, 24-17, facing the Titans. But Tannehill has been on a roll for the Titans. Definitely, they deserve that win. I think Tannehill is also the guy to look at. I mean, the Titans rely on him. Most of their points comes from Tannehill. It's mostly from those yards that he throws. So, I think Tannehill is pretty good. Chiefs beat Panthers 33-31. Panthers actually caught up, and I'm surprised. Because normally, the Panthers are, they're bad, obviously. They lost Cam Newton. They don't really have the good players to look at. They only have Bridgewater. So, seeing them catch up like that, especially when Chiefs have home field advantage, that was pretty nice to see. Panthers still lost, but, they scored 31 points against the Chiefs.
That was very impressive by the Panthers. They've been in games all year. Matt Rule's been a terrific hire for the Panthers. He's getting the best out of them. And even though the Chiefs won the game, it should be very concerning that the Panthers were 2 points away of winning that football game. Chiefs, I know you're 8-1 right now, but You got to make sure to sharpen up your defense, or else that's gonna go. That's gonna have problems.
The Panthers. I mean, I feel like we're gonna be seeing more losses from the team. They just need to pick up their defense, especially their defense. The offense is not that bad. I mean, if they work with Bridgewater, this is how they're gonna get more points. I just feel like the reason why they lost was because of their defense, not really their offense, but their defense.
Definitely.
So, Bills hammer the Seahawks in Buffalo, 44-34. Big win by the Bills right there. They're going to keep it going. Dolphins also win yet again, 34-31 against the Arizona Cardinals. Raiders did well against the Chargers. Expect the Raiders to keep winning, obviously. I mean, honestly, the Raiders, they're like that win-loss team.
Definitely.
But I think we're seeing more wins picked up by the Raiders. But I definitely feel like the Raiders, they're going to be seeing them in the playoffs. So
yeah, John Gruden's
yeah.
been coaching that team very well. But one thing I want to point out about that game, Justin Herbert, man, that guy is just an absolute baller for the Chargers. He's a baller.
I think we talked about him last episode, actually.
Yeah, he's a baller.
He actually led the team in the wins.
Yeah.
He led the teams in all the touchdowns and yards and everything.
And this guy's a rookie, man. And
yeah,
he's like putting up all
rushing yards up there. He's the man.
He's throwing touchdowns. He's just
it's
crazy.
like getting a football card and getting a rookie card. If you get Herbert, you're the man.
Yeah, it's literally like can't miss.
For real.
Unbelievable.
Cowboys were able to put points on the board against the Steelers, and as we know, the Cowboys did not do that well. I expected them to at least score like a field goal or something like that, but no, they actually scored 19 points against the Steelers, and which we know the Steelers are 8-0, they're undefeated. So Steelers won that game 24-19, but the Cowboys, I mean, at least Cowboy fans just know that at least you were able to put the points on the board.
Definitely.
Because I remember when they went to Washington, they only scored a field goal. That was it.
Yeah.
So they were actually able to keep them.
Yeah, Dallas was playing very well last week. It was very good to see. Although Pittsburgh, man, I know you're undefeated, but you're not going to be undefeated anymore.
Yeah,
because the Cowboys aren't a good team. If you're going to let a good team play that way, you're not going to win it. You're not going to go undefeated.
Steelers were just winning because they got Juju and definitely
Chase Claypool. That guy
and Roethlisberger.
Yep.
Because Roethlisberger literally has a brand new arm basically after that ACL surgery.
Yeah.
So now he's like, that's helping him so much. It's giving him such an advantage. So I definitely think that the Steelers are not going to be falling anytime soon.
No, they're going to be playoff team.
Roethlisberger.
They just got to sharpen up some things.
Yeah. Their defense too is pretty good too. I mean, I definitely could say that their offense is better than their defense, but Saints also put a beating to the Buccaneers. And what happened to Brady? I saw that game as a Saints fan. It was amazing to see because two divisional teams face each other, and the Buccaneers were actually catching up to the Saints for wins and losses and all that, but Brady was not playing a good game, and we expected him to do good because he had to beat Breeze in the most touchdowns and everything, but Breeze beat him by a long shot.
It was an absolutely pathetic
That score was
performance
38-33, and it was crazy. Bucks at home in Tampa. Still.
Bucks, what are you doing, man? I mean, like, what are you doing?
At home, they're still losing. Like, they lost by so much at home. Like, it's crazy.
You're going against a division rival in the New Orleans Saints. You have to win that game because you lost the first game in game 1. And now you stink up the joint. It's 38-3. It's like 28-0 by the goal game. That was a pathetic performance.
I agree. I mean, honestly,
Tom Brady, Bruce Arians, AB, all of them.
Yeah, they
all got a war.
That Antonio Brown guy. You can tell right now that they don't have chemistry at all.
No,
I originally thought they were going to have good chemistry, but they really don't have chemistry. I thought Antonio Brown and Brady were going to put on a show.
And the defense was awful. Drew Brees was, throwing dimes.
Drew Brees had a night.
And by the way, Saints fans, you should be thrilled right now because a lot of people were doubting you whether your defense would hold up, and you absolutely put the Buccaneers into submission.
We also got Michael Thomas back.
You did. You got Michael Thomas back.
That was another reason why we got our win. Because Michael Thomas is back, so we are now going to see the Saints win non-stop. They're not stopping.
They're on a 5-game winning streak, and that's no one's talking about.
The fact that they got that Michael Thomas is back, oh man, we're about to see way more than we expect from the Saints right now.
Buccaneers, you guys got to get your act together.
Yeah.
Fast.
True. Patriots actually almost lost to the Jets. That was a really close game. As we know, the Jets stink, but also the Patriots are not doing that well. But the Patriots still won 30-27. But hey, I gotta give it to the Jets fans. They were actually almost able to beat the Patriots, and that could show something.
Yeah, usually when we do the shows about the Jets, I usually, you know, cry my head in shame. But this week, not this week, today, last
could've
week,
won that. They had that.
They
They had
actually
They
had
could've won.
a good football game. They
Yeah.
actually played well.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco was throwing dimes all over the place. It's just the Patriots were better. And that's what it came down to, a game-winning field goal. That's okay. I can see and watch that football. And besides, Trevor Lawrence is on the way anyway, so I'm going to be all set and all ready to go. So.
Who knows? I mean, the Jets, they're definitely going to find their win eventually this season. I mean, that win was pretty close. And I honestly just think if they just keep up their play style like they had last week, I think they'll be fine, in my opinion. Colts shockingly played well with Andrew Luck as they won 34-17 against the Titans. And what happened? The Titans were all of a sudden doing really well with Tannehill and everything. But this time they lost. It's like the Titans, I definitely think that this was just a bad night.
Yeah,
I definitely think they could pick it back up because they did win last week. So
yeah, and another thing is that the Colts defense has been playing excellent so far.
yeah,
this
the
season.
defense has been helping the Colts out. I think the defense is the defense to look at in the NFL
Definitely.
right now.
The question for the Colts is if they're going to win the Super Bowl, can Phillip Rivers play better? And that's what it's going to come down to.
I think he could. I mean, Phillip Rivers is that. I mean,
He's been that dude before.
Yeah. He's been that, I remember when he was on the Chargers, he was that guy to look at.
Yeah.
But I definitely think he can keep that momentum, especially with the Colts.
Awesome.
So, yeah. So without further ado, that wraps it up for today. We didn't really have that much to talk about because the only sports that are going on right now is just the NFL. So, without further ado, I'm Tyler Wargo.
And I'm Mickey Perella.
Thank you guys for tuning into Sports Guys Season 2, Episode 13, and yeah. Bye.